Welcome back to Ferris Farming Organic. My name is Thomas, and today I will be taking you guys as I go scout some fields as we look for a couple things. One, we are going to be looking for weed pressure in some of the cornfields. Number two, we're looking for moisture. If it's too muddy. It did rain last evening around this area that I'm at. I'm about a mile or 2 miles east of Emmitsburg, Iowa, and I'll be moving my way north to look at some fields up there. But I figured I'd bring you guys along with me today. So starting off here about a mile east of Emmitsburg, Iowa. First I'm going to look at the growth stage. I think it's probably in like the V3 stage. And then you can see there's quite a bit of darker dirt, a little bit of moisture on top of this field. But below it, I mean, it's pretty dry. So what I'm looking for now is weeds and white roots, which is a good telltale sign of you should go to your field and do something. This field will probably be tine weeded next, with the tines taken out that go over the row. You can see that's there's some corn still yet not quite caught up to this bigger corn, so gonna have to go really slow if we do tine weed it. But as far as weed pressure goes on top, there's not much, but if you dig down, we'll probably find some white roots towards this moisture, which means we need to come tine weed it. So this field isn't probably the worst field that we could be in tine weed, but it's dry. The corn's tall enough that we won't damage it or cover it up, and if it comes down to it and we need something to do with the tractor, it will not hurt this field to go over it one more time with the tine weeder. And we have utilized, oh, I'm getting a phone call.
And we only got 2 holes left here. Yeah, Thomas?
Yep, I just stopped by Rooney's and then the Railroad 80. They're both pretty dry. I wouldn't say there's a bunch of white roots, but they'll work.
But you think it would work on both of those?
Yeah.
Well, then I'll just send Lucas headed that way, but I'll just send Jacob and Will over there as well.
Yep. I mean,
because if it's dry there, they can probably cultivate.
There's, I mean, like a little bit of moisture on top, but below that it's all dry.
It's all dry.
Yep.
Okay,
so we are going to start tine weeding those fields I just talked about, and also the row crop cultivators operator guys will be coming over to run their tractors by Emmitsburg. We didn't know just because it did rain last night and it's still pretty dark out. The radar, the weather app didn't look super promising. Actually, here comes the rain. But it didn't look super promising last night and pretty early this morning, but now that we're over here and kind of see, it's really spotty. I mean, where I'm at right now, the pavement's still wet, but just a mile that way, it was dusty on the gravel roads. So it's kind of hard to tell. Just made it up to the next field, and I don't think this field is going to have anything going over it today. So this field is about 4-5 miles north of Emmitsburg, just straight north. This cornfield was planted about a day earlier than the first field we looked at, but you can see there's a lot more weeds in the middle of this row and in the row of corn. But with that being said, and with all the moisture, I mean, I'm digging down. There's a lot of white roots. There's a lot of weeds. It would be really nice to get a tine weeder in here and work this up, but I just don't think it's possible with the moisture this field got. It's crazy that just less than 5 miles away, barely got a drop. I mean, that's just always been insane to me how much even just a mile can make. There's usually a line where the rain stops, and it's pretty clear when you walk out in the field and just look at it. But we're gonna, I suppose, head north and just look at the fields just so we have an idea of what the weed pressure looks like, because as bad as this field or how far along this field is with the weeds and how fast they're coming up, the next field could be even worse. And we don't want to go to this field before we go to a worse field, especially if they're going to be at the same growing stage. And obviously, if we can get in this field, more than likely we'll be able to get in the next field, which is about 1.5 miles north of here. I know I just said that a mile can make a really big difference in the weather and the rainfall, but I guess we'll find out. Check that out. Just 1/2 mile away from the field we just left, it started raining. That's funny. So I haven't showed you guys every single field I've went to because it's been quite a few, but this field is just 2 miles north of the first field I showed you guys, and this field is super wet. I mean, moisture all the way through, digging probably 8 inches deep now and still haven't found dry dirt. There's not a bunch of weeds in this field, but there's a few white roots getting ready to pop through. This field was tine weeded. There's some white roots. This field was tine weeded with the tines out, I believe. If it wasn't that, it was tine weeded blind. So this field has been hit. You can definitely tell a difference in the fields that have been worked up twice. And the reason it's important to check your fields, obviously as a normal farmer, you know what's going on, but as an organic farmer, we need to know, a lot of fleas, we need to know what fields can go and what fields cannot. It is very important this time of year, in this stage of the corn, around that V2, V3 stage, that we stay on top of things, because that is a very crucial time in weed management. Out for us, I'm sure every organic farmer would agree with that, but super important time to stay on top of your weed control. So we can go in a few fields today, which is good with tine weeders. The cultivator guys are going at the moment, which is also very, very important. That corn is a little bit taller. We cannot get in these fields that I've showed you so far today with a cultivator. That's why I'm kind of just driving around, checking on them to make sure we can tine weed them. One thing we will do, since we did get a rain, is rotary hoe. I'll probably unhook my tine weeder probably tomorrow, hook back up a rotary hoe, our 60-foot rotary hose, and hit everything that has a crust on it. And that's what we've found works the best for rotary hoeing, is when it has a crust. After it rained, you can break up that crust, pluck out weeds. So that's what we'll probably do tomorrow, or Friday. I'm doing a video on the Nexat. I'm sure some of you guys have been wondering that. You guys have that machine here, you haven't done a video on it. I'm waiting for my drone. I don't want to take a video on it without getting some sick drone shots of it. But B, I haven't really had the time. I've been running the tine weeder a lot, trying to stay on top of that, and it's not like you can just shut down something this time of year to go take a video of something. It's not really a good enough excuse. But that's kind of my plan for today. I'm gonna go pick up my tine weeder from a field where it got rained out last night. I'll maybe check 2 more fields, just see what they look like right next to it, but I highly doubt that they will be able to go today. But yeah, we'll see you guys at the tractor. At least the RX got cleaned. So just got to the field where I was working yesterday in the tine weeder. The field that I was working on hadn't been hit. It got skipped blind tine weeding, so it had nothing done to it yet. So we were trying to get it tine weeded before the rain. Obviously I didn't get very far, but it did rain here, so hopefully we can hook that rotary hoe up tomorrow if it dries up later today, and go over a lot of these fields north of Emmitsburg, since it did rain quite a bit, and get them worked up. I think that rotary hoe will do a lot of good if it has that crust on top. Get out a lot of weeds. But as far as this field tine weeding today goes, it'll not be going. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, or at least learned a little bit of something of how we think about weed control, when we do what, and kind of what field conditions look like. and how we're kind of sitting on weed control. Yeah, just a little bit of an informative video today. So I hope I covered things decently well, and if I didn't, I'm sure you guys will let me know. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I'm trying to post a video every single day this week, as we have a lot going on, and there's a lot to film. Don't expect a video every day, every week, but at least this week I had the time, I had the things to take videos of, so I'll try to keep that up, and we'll catch you in the next one. Also, if there's something that I did not cover that you want to see or hear about, just comment what you want to see, and we'll do a video on it.